Hi, this is Steve. I'm going to go through and show you briefly a little bit more about the way the button options, which are these button or menu options, and what particular features they have available to or functions within each particular module. This is our user area of all the users that are in the system. This is where we go in and select each individual user that we want to add or remove permissions from. These are the modules in blue that this particular user has access to, and that's every one that has a check mark next to each module. So what we're going to do here is go in and we're going to actually edit these areas. So when the mailing list is highlighted like the cyan color, it shows the different areas for the mailing list. This is the households and this is the family members. This particular user has access to create and add, edit and update, delete, find, search, letters, emails, print reports, profile setup, and he does not have access to auto edit mode, meaning that whenever you actually click on a record, it would appear like this up here where they have access to edit this record without hitting the edit button to open up that particular record for editing. So if I just check this and uncheck this, this means that this person has no access to do any of these features or functions within the family members area within the mailing list module. Now, down here at the bottom, this is actually the permission settings that they have. For example, this one is associated to this checkbox being that they have permission to access this church mailing list module. And then each one of these subsequent areas through here are telling us that this person has access to these areas. He does not have access to an administrator, so that's 0. He does have access to all these other areas down here, and these are related to those areas as well. And then some of this areas over here is related to family things. But until I save these, this information is not updated until I save. However, in this case, I'm just going to not even change it. So now you notice that this was the church mailing list. This is the church visitors, which is this module is here. You notice that this person has access to the module, again by this checkbox saying he has permissions to access this module. But when you do into this area here, it's showing that he does not have access to other areas. This area right here is the ministry, church ministry. This here is church contributions. This here is the church counseling. And these are other areas. So anyway, if I go through and take this person off and save this record, then that would change this visitors module, this first position, to be 0. So I can go through while I'm editing and I can actually update these areas. For the household in the ministry and activity, this person has access to do this, this person has access to do this in the families, and these inside the ministry area will, whatever I save here for the family member, will also be available in the mailing list. So if these are default for the mailing list, they'll be available through all the other modules for household things. However, unique in the ministry and activity and attendance, these areas need to be checked in order for them to do ministry activity and attendance posting for all the different areas for that feature and permissions to access those areas. Same thing with contributions. You notice that in this case, these settings here are all the same. They cannot change what they can do here because those are set for that particular module, which is required to be done by the mailing list. So if we go into here and change this, and then we go down into the contributions, if I would have saved it, then these would have been gone from that area. So this contributions permissions, they get everything that they were allowed in mailing list, but they now have access in just the contributions area to post giving, edit and update, delete giving, print reports, and update and maintain funds. This is just a internal administrative position to maybe correct some things here and save it, and so then that will overwrite what's here. So if I change these to 1 and 0s, it will turn on, turn off these particular flags up here in the checkboxes. One other nice feature that is nice in here is that for the user logs, we can put any date or date range we want to. So let's just change this to 15. And now we can see every user for these date ranges that came into the system. If we wanted to go through and do a specific date, we could do this, was from who came in the month of February through the 12th, and then we hit it for all users. It will give us a list of all the users who came into the system through that period of time and what their module is. These particular modules correlate to these particular modules over here on the left hand side. For example, a 101 is a log out, a 100 is log in, a log out. These particular module numbers are associated to each one, so we know where they actually came in, what time they logged in, and what time they logged out. So that's just a quick overview of the security permissions within the system, and it's something that then we can go through and actually migrate into the new Active Branch software as well. And this will be a required function. This can be changed to meet a more advanced security permissions based on what we want to do with the new layout set up. Thank you very much for your time. Look forward to talking to you soon.